Thank you so much for coming back on the show. I appreciate it.
I'm excited. I know Brienne and Antonia, right?
Yeah.
They're. I saw when I drove in, someone was wanting to meet them, and I had to roll the window down and let them down pretty badly. She had it because they wanted a picture.
Oh, someone on the street were
Someone
like,
on the
hey.
street was like hoping it wasn't me in that car, and it was like right when I went in, and I just rolled the window down, and I was like, I said, I'm sorry. And then I just rolled
They
it
didn't
back
take
up.
the picture.
They were very they know. I had it one of the first times I ever did a late night, like old Conan, a long time. But I remember I pulled up and they take pictures of people when you walk in.
Yeah.
And so I pull up in the thing and all these people walk over to take a picture, and then I come out and they were like, we don't know who this is, and they all walked away. No one even took it's all digital cameras. They could just delete the picture. They did not want to waste. They didn't
space.
Yeah, I don't want to go through all that. I don't want to delete it.
That's a lot of business.
Nah, never mind.
Never mind. We're all good.
Sorry.
But you're on the road constantly.
Yes.
And I thank you for stopping in and doing the Tonight Show. What's it like? Is the road the same? Has it changed?
Yeah, it's the same. It's a lot of hotels. Stay in a lot of hotels. Some hotels are great. Some are like fine. Like I stayed in one because no one really works at hotels anymore, and like you go to some of these small towns and it's like the guy that owns it works there and that's it. And so you're like, is the rooms gonna get clean? And he's like, no. I mean, it's not. And
just, right straight out
just
tells
immediate.
you no.
No, dude. He goes.
Nah.
I mean, we do it every third guest. And
yeah.
I called down. There was a stain on the bed, and I called and I said, hey, there's a pretty big stain on the bed.
Yeah.
And he goes, how big is it? And I was like, dude, I'm about to get talked into this stain. And I was like, I don't know, like 70 nickels worth. I didn't know how to describe it. I was like, if you dropped 70 nickels on the bed, it's that. And he was like, that's not that bad, to be honest. And I was like, all right, maybe it's the cleanest room. Maybe it was 1,000 nickels before I got there. So
Yeah. No, it's 70 nickels is pretty big.
if you drop 70 nickels, it's a good spot.
Yeah. Hello World is the name of the special. What's the significance behind that?
Well, I wanted a nice greeting. I just wanted something that was like very warming and try to be the special is very fun.
Yeah.
It's also a nod to Tiger Woods.
Oh.
When Tiger turned pro, when he was 18, there's a big, like he said, he goes, well, hello world, and makes a famous like thing. So it was kind of like, it's a mix of, I'm a big golfer, big Tiger fan.
Yeah.
And so it kind of worked that I was like, oh, and it's like a little nod to him.
Yeah.
And
you actually met Tiger Woods.
I actually got to meet him. I did a show for the PGA, and he was there, and I told him I was naming this special. This was a big deal for me. This was it.
Judging by this photo, I'm not sure you did meet Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
I mean, did you talk to each other?
Yeah.
Neither one of you are looking at each other.
Yeah, they grabbed him.
Is this at the beginning of the conversation, or is this at the end when it's awkward silence, like somebody get me out?
He didn't know I was there. I just went there, and I stood next to him and just looked like, hey, we're just two buds hanging out.
You didn't even get that close to him.
You don't want to touch him. I mean, I don't like it's Tiger Woods. Like, here you go.
It is Tiger Woods. You don't want to get in his space.
I told him within 8 words, I told him I was naming my special after him saying hello world. It's a lot. It was a lot for him to take in. It's just out of no context.
Did he react?
He was like, oh, that's cool. I mean, I don't know how to react. There's no context to any of this. He doesn't, like, he doesn't know me. He doesn't know what I'm doing. I'm just walking up like, I'm going to name my comedy special after you. And he's like, all right. Like, like, he goes, I appreciate it, man. I was like, yeah. And he talked about you.
He did?
Yeah, because I said I was a comic, and he loved coming on here and just talked about coming on the show with his caddy and just told Emma, just kept talking enough that I was like, all right. I go,
I'm not even talking about Jimmy Fallon.
We've all done the show, all right?
Whatever, Tiger. Yeah, let's get out of there. Yeah, he's a good dude. But you do this hour of new material, and already you're working on another new material.
Yeah.
How do you do it? You're brilliant. What is the process?
Yeah, brilliant.
Sorry, I snuck that in there.
Yeah, I liked it.
I know.
But it's,
you're a pretty humble guy. You don't like,
I am, yeah.
You don't like people saying that.
That's what we wrote down. I go, make sure you say brilliant.
Yeah, it says here, say
brilliant. You just think of like, I don't know, you think of dumb stuff. And you
what
gotta
dumb stuff are you thinking of now?
One, I thought about like the old times, because like with cars now, Like if you drove a car here, if you drove a car somewhere, and like you leave your lights on, and someone's like, "Who's got a Honda Accord?" Your lights are on.
Yeah.
But like back in the old days, it was horse and buggies. So they would park their horses, and then you could go into. They're like, "All right, who's got a brown horse?" And that's everybody. Everybody's like, "I think we all do."
Yeah.
And then it's like your horse is gone. It's just gone. That would be their lights. Is your engine is gone.
Yeah.
And then you gotta be like, did you look for it? And you got a lantern. You're like, we looked as much as a lantern would look. It's like it was never within 6 feet of us.
This is stuff that you're thinking of right now.
This is the prime stuff you're gonna see out there on the road. Tell you what.
No, come on.
These are the hits.
You said last time you're going to cut down on sugar and you're going to get into health. You look fantastic.
Thank you.
You look great.
It's gotten better. I still have just meltdowns where I'll still go to McDonald's. Went to a McDonald's and I had to open my door one time because my window wasn't broke. That was pretty sad. That's sad for me and them. It's like me and the McDonald's worker are all just like, what are we doing with our life? Like they shouldn't see your whole body in a drive-through window. They shouldn't, like, you just have to open it and you're like, and you just take all the food, and they see your shoes, and you're like,
I'm sorry.
You're like, I don't know, dude, I should have just not done it. The one day my window goes down every day on earth of my life. And the one day it doesn't, I'm like, well, I'll probably do a drive-through that day. And
you're glutton for punishment, man. That's terrible.
It's brutal.
That's terrible.
But I have gotten better. I'm 43. 43, you still think you're young. You know, like I'll hang out like a 23-year-old and I'm like, you get it, dude? We're just a couple young dudes kicking it. And some guy will be like, I'm 45. I'm like, beat it, old man. I can't believe that guy had the nerve to hang out. You know, let's go sit down a little bit. I went and got a physical recently, and after your 40s, I'll tell you, before 40, you go through like a drive-through window. It's like they're just like, you move your neck, and they're like, come on, man, you're wasting everybody's time, all right? Go live a life. And then you pass 40, and the doctor's like, you mind shutting that door behind you? You know? He's like, I'd lock it, we're about to get after it. And it was the first time I've ever been talked to old, and so it was just me and him. And he goes, "Do you pee a lot at night?" And I was like, "Did my dad just walk in the room? Like, how old? You know, I've never peed at night in my life." I was like, "How about that? I don't pee till the sun goes down." But I did. I was like, "But you know, just so I know, what is a lot? What is a big amount?" And I'll tell you what, he's ruined me. I only pee at night now. I would love to pee during the day. My body's like, enjoy the day. We'll get it out tonight. Don't worry about it. Have fun.
Nate Bargatze, everybody. His new special, Nate Bargatze, Hello World, comes to Prime Video 1 week from today. Congratulations. We'll be right back with more Tonight Show. Nate Bargatze, come on.
Hey, hey.